Well, many would consider it iconic to Toronto is the underused Ontario Place worthy of worldwide global effort to preserve it. The Architectural Conservancy of Ontario thinks so. Joining me from the Conservancy is Bill Greaves to talk more about why Ontario Place is on the 2020 World Monuments Watch List. And that list includes such iconic sites as Notre Dame in Paris, Easter Island, and the Sacred Valley of the Incas, where Machu Picchu is. Bill, thank you very much for joining us. That's quite a list. And why is Ontario Place on that list with those other sites?
Well, I think probably a good place to start is what is the World Monuments Fund, how do they make this list, and why does Ontario Place belong on it? And basically, World Monuments Fund are a foundation based in New York City. They have offices all around the world. They are the leading organization in the field. They set the agenda, both in terms of what sites and what trends and priorities are out there. So every 2 years, they make a list of 25 sites that they consider critical and endangered. And they look at 3 things. They say, what is the heritage value of this site? Is there an imminent threat? They often say, if we wait another 2 years, will we be too late? And what is the social impact of conserving the site? How does it make our lives better? So with Ontario Place, a lot of people don't know this, but it's an incredibly important piece of architecture and landscape from the 60s. The 60s were, we know, a wild time. People had crazy ideas. Architects drew giant buildings looming over cities. Ontario Place actually took those ideas and got built, and that really didn't happen very many places. The landscape as well, totally revolutionary. Natural native plantings. Landscape to be actually used.
Is it something we just take for granted then that it's there?
Yeah, I think we do, and that's really too bad because it's easy to take it for granted in a way because it doesn't take itself seriously. I don't think it says, I am great architecture with a capital A, admire me. It says, come on into the Cinesphere, watch a movie. By the way, it's on an IMAX screen, first one built, and it's Canadian technology.
So what is your worry now? I mean, I guess it was earlier this year, the Ontario government said it was falling apart essentially, but there's been a bit of a change of tune, and there's a reason for optimism that Ontario Place could be restored as opposed to repurposed.
Yeah, this is breaking news from 18 hours ago, in fact. That goes to their second criteria, what is the imminent threat? The concern has been that the government earlier this year asked private developers for proposals, and they didn't. The government in their document didn't say you must conserve this at all. In fact, they said the opposite. You can tear down anything you want. And if you tear down New Trillium Park, you just have to build something similar to it, about the same size. So, we just thought, from a conservancy point of view, this is not a good thing. And yesterday, Lisa MacLeod made some encouraging statements. She spoke about Ontario Place as a crown jewel, and she said the government was committed to restoring it as a crown jewel. Well, I think that's pretty promising. She talked about,
There is good optimism for it. Is that the best way? Should it be restored? Can it be anything added to it at all? Or do you think it should stay the way it is?
Well, I think we should start by looking at the value of what's already there and look at how to make it relevant. Here's an example. The pods, these amazing steel and glass structures on our waterfront, but they are underused. And I think there needs to be a conversation about how do we make them relevant? What happens in those? And the way to do it is to start with facts. The World Monuments Fund has the best engineers in the world. They can come in and say, what really needs to be done here? How difficult is it to bring these, back into good shape?
And that's what this list does. It gets some funding to help look at those things and do that, right? I've got to cut you off there, but I appreciate you coming in. And hopefully we'll have some more good news when it comes to Ontario Place. And if you're looking for more on the efforts to save Ontario Place, go to the Conservancy's website, ARConserve, no E on the end of conserve, right? .ca for the website. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning.